What exactly happens with your ex? What's their experience when they're in the process of falling back in love with you? That's what we're going to be talking about today, so please sit back, stay tuned, and watch this video all the way through to the end. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life, and today we're talking about the process of falling back in love with you from your ex's point of view, what they're going through and what their experience is. Now obviously this journey is going to start in different places because sometimes breakups happen, they're pretty friendly, they're pretty amicable, sometimes there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of hurt feelings, etc. So I don't know exactly where the two of you are starting, but we're just going to go ahead and start with maybe one of the worst case scenarios, and then we're going to start to move things towards getting back together. And feel free to just sort of like jump on in wherever you think your ex is in this emotional journey. But basically, if we're starting at a pretty bad place, you and your ex may not even be talking to each other right now. They might be walling you out. They could be closing themselves off from you. Maybe they've even blocked you. But at some point, somehow, the two of you get back in contact. Maybe you reach out to them. Maybe they miss you and reach out to you. Maybe the two of you just have a chance encounter and you just bump into each other on the street or at the store or something like that. And now suddenly the two of you are talking. This can be what gets things started moving again. But basically at this point in time, your ex is just basically kind of very defensive around you. They're very shut off and they have their guard on very, very high. And so what you want to do at this point is to just simply be curious, just simply to invite them into a little conversation, okay? And demonstrate to them that you're not a threat, you're not trying to twist their arm into something that they're not ready for, you're not trying to force something that's not there or anything like that. If you haven't already, I'd recommend that you have a same team conversation at this point just to make that abundantly clear. We did talk about the same team conversation in a live stream I did not too long ago on the step-by-step process for getting back together with your ex. You can find that right up there, but I'd really strongly recommend you check that out. As they start to connect with you again, they are really just sort of trying to feel you out and understand where you are and how the two of you could fit into each other's lives. Their guard is probably going to be pretty high, so they're probably going to most likely be trying to have surface level conversations with you. You know, things like, what's the weather like? What are you doing this weekend? How's the thing that you mentioned? Did you see the whatever on the news? Did you hear about so-and-so that did whatever? These kinds of things can be pretty common, so we want to be okay with these conversations starting here. But what we want to do is we want to be slowly warming our ex up to actually getting closer and closer to us emotionally, understanding that it's safe to do so. So what we want to do is we want to demonstrate a lot of vulnerability and be able to transparently show them what's going on with us, what we're thinking and feeling in any given moment, and show them that it's safe for them to actually do the same as well too. And this is actually going to pull the conversation and the connection down to that emotional level that we've talked about in so many other videos. And this is where they're going to start to really see that it's okay for them to open up and trust us. Now, they might take a step forward and start to open up, but this may be sort of temporarily counterweighted by them pulling back. This can be really frustrating for a lot of people because their ex can be warming up to them, and then their ex can take a step or two back, and then they can warm up again, and then they can take a step or two back. This is actually very common because your ex is learning to trust you. They're learning to trust themselves, and they're learning to trust the dynamic between the two of you. This is part of the process. What I want you to do is not to get caught up so much in what they're saying and what they're doing in any given moment, but to understand that they're probably going to be going through this confusing process. That is to say, they might be really warm towards you. They might tell you things like, hey, I missed you so much, we should get back together. They might tell you things like, follow that up maybe the next day by telling you things like, oh, we should not see each other, we should date other people, it was a mistake, or things like that. And there can be this back and forth that goes on that can be very confusing for a lot of people, and it can be very frustrating for a lot of people too. But understand that this is part of the process. Don't get too caught up in what they say. Understand that they are probably very, very confused, and they're doing their best to handle all of this in their own way. By the way, since we have a bell ringing in the background, I wanted to just remind you that if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel as well too, making sure that you hit that bell icon to get notified when we publish and upload new videos. Also, when I go live and do live streams, you'll get notified as well too, so that you can actually participate in the live stream. Maybe I can answer some of your questions and we can have a little bit of a back and forth conversation. It's a lot of fun. I like talking to people. I like getting updates on where you're at and helping you if I can. So please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification. as your ex goes through this confusing process, what you want to do is you want to help them to continue to move closer towards you. You want to help them to continue to get closer to you and to continue to work through their fears and doubts. What you don't want to do is use this as an opportunity to demonstrate to them that they really should be hesitant about trusting you and opening up to you. What you want to do is show them that they actually should continue to do that by being accepting, by being understanding, by being empathetic. Of course, having boundaries when it makes sense, but by being very compassionate towards them and their struggles and their concerns. After they get past this point, they're probably going to be in a place where they really start to trust you. They really start to actually have affection towards you. But something interesting is going to happen. You see, up until this point, interacting with you and spending time with you has simply just been an intellectual curiosity. What would it be like to talk to my ex again? What would it be like to spend time together? What would it be like to grab that cup of coffee? What would it be like to get together? I don't know. There's no harm in finding out. But after they start to really feel this trust for you and really feel the ability to open up and bring a lot of emotional depth, that's when they're going to have this uh-oh moment where they start to realize that they have real feelings for you. And it starts to go from a hypothetical thing to uh-oh. I actually have feelings for my ex now. I actually love them. I actually want to be together with them. What am I going to do about that? And this can be difficult for them for a lot of reasons. There could be a rebound relationship in the picture that they might have to go through the uncomfortable experience of breaking up with. Or maybe they have to tell their friends and family that the two of you are dating again, or that the two of you are seeing each other. And that could be difficult because maybe it took a lot of nerve for them to tell their friends and family. Maybe their friends and family are maybe holding a grudge against you because of something that happened. Or maybe they have to rearrange their life in some other way to give the two of you the opportunity to get closer together and to spend more time together. So your ex is probably going to actually discourage you at this point in time. Now, why is that? Because as they start to realize that they're going to take this into a real direction and make this connection and make this relationship something tangible, it's going to be scary, right? They don't want to, let's just say hypothetically, break up with a rebound relationship and say, okay, hey, I broke up with them, we can get back together now. And then you say, whoa, hey, I didn't want to get back together with you. I was just getting coffee with you just to be nice or just to be curious. By the way, I'm dating someone else. They don't want that. So they're actually going to try to discourage you, because if you say, whew, you're right, we shouldn't be together, I'm actually dating 5 other people, they're going to breathe a sigh of relief and say, thank goodness I didn't go through the process of going through another breakup with the rebound in order to be with this person. They're not serious. Or thank goodness I didn't tell my mom and dad that we're seeing each other again, and got them all excited about potentially us getting back together and getting married and whatever, because you're not serious. So they're giving you the opportunity to demonstrate that you're not serious. They're giving you the opportunity to say, hey, I'd rather date someone else. I don't want to be with you, all that sort of stuff. And so you may actually get your ex actively discouraging you through this whole process. That's to say, you may get them telling you to move on. You may get them telling you that you're too good for them, or that they're not, that they're toxic, or that you should date other people, or that you could do better than them, or that all these sorts of things. And this is where you can actually get away with doubling down on a lot of the stuff that you're not supposed to do during a breakup. Telling your ex that you love them and all that sort of stuff. Here it makes sense because you're showing them that there's actually a soft place for them to land if they start to rearrange their life for the two of you to actually get back together. They're going to know that if they break up with the rebound, there's actually going to be a relationship with you waiting for them on the other side. They're going to know that if they tell people that the two of you are dating, you're actually going to be dating, and they're not going to look sort of foolish by telling people this, and then it's like, yeah, well, I was wrong. And so this is where you can actually do a lot of this stuff. And so once this happens, your ex is then able to make these real changes to bring the two of you closer together again. And this is where you end up in a place where there should be no real obstacles holding the two of you back. And really, all you have to do is just call out the fact that the two of you are connecting really well, tell them that you're interested in seeing each other again, and just see if they're open to talking about that. At this point, they could bring up all sorts of concerns that they have. Maybe that the relationship has some of the same problems, or maybe that things will go back to the way they were before, or whatever. This is where the two of you can work together to really comfort them and let them know that they're not walking back into the same relationship that they walked out of in the first place. And if you really want some help with all of this, this is what we'd call your ex's journey in this process, the 5 stages of getting back together. And this is what we specifically detail and help guide you through in our course called the X Solution course. You can find out more about that over at modernlove.life/ESP, or you can click on the link down below in the description. But this has helped, countless people save their relationships over the past, 10 plus years that we've been offering it. And I'd love it if you could be our next success story. If you do want to learn more about these 5 stages, what I would recommend, aside from signing up for the ESP course, is to go ahead and check out this video series right over here on your X's 5 stages. We go into these in more detail and we give you some insight in what's going on in each stage. Anyway, with that being said, I hope to see you inside of our ESP course, or if nothing else, check out this video series over here. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.